Hey, what's going on YouTube? This is Chaos Rain here, and in this video I'm here to show you a build update slash where we're currently at in our build slash the future, of what's going on. We are currently level 82, still pushing T1, T2 maps, however. We are not going to be pushing the higher tier maps just yet. I want to make sure I have one or two more pieces of gear done before I do that, and as such I would like to farm up. So one thing I will say is T1 map farming is probably one of the better states it's ever been at. T1, T2, low tier, and that's because of Sentinel. Sentinel basically gives you a free loot reward on top of any enemy that it decides to, essentially, and with the nodes I have spec'd, you get a total of 3 Sentinel deployments with a lot of rewards that come with it. So as such, we'll kind of be showing you a little bit about that and how you can take advantage of that. First things first, I wanted to show you the build, where it's at, where I have going, and everything like that. Today I am glad to say that when I was farming with my friend, we actually found about 5 raw X along with an item worth about an X plus change, and then a ton of essences as he was spec'd into the essence nodes, which got duplicated and triplicated, and I'll tell you how that happened in a second. Along with a whole bunch of other stuff. I have no share tabs currently. As such, I will show you what I have currently as far as just in items. I have given all of my starter stuff away to a friend of mine who is, still coming up in Axe, and he hasn't had time to play, so I figured I'd give him. We have a pretty decent amount of bubblegum, a couple chaos left. I did spend some chaos. We have a bunch of cards, however I did give away all my cards and my fossils to that same friend because he helped me buy my 6 ink Hyries, and he just gave me that after hitting it with an essence or two. On top of which, he managed to pass me this, which is really build enabling and helping me do some crazy stuff, and I'll tell you why in a second. And then the rest is just like our T1 maps and everything like that. Unfortunately, we haven't had a chance to put our tabs in or buy our tabs. We're going to wait till they go on sale again, as I did have the money in my PayPal, but for some reason it is not letting me link my PayPal to this specific thing. So I'm just kind of SOL until that happens. So let's go ahead and go over what we have going. First things first, we do have the Chin Soul still. I will be making an upgrade, and the upgrade I'm thinking about doing is the Arborix. And the reason I'm thinking about the Arborix is for a couple of reasons. One, it gives us a permanent 2 arrows, and 2, it gives us a lot of base fizz damage. This means we can just sit there and output a lot more damage without worrying about being close to enemies. It also has a very fair amount of attack speed to go with it. Currently, we are still able to clear easy T1s, including when they're all juiced up and everything like that, and Delirium, everything like that. So, we're fairly geared out. Now, in here, we just have Second Wind Dash along with our Hatred. We don't have any quality on anything yet, but we are saving GCP so we can just quality a whole bunch at one time to just feel the power spike. I really like doing that. It's what I do. Our rings are called Void and the Winter Weave. Now, we are doing this because Color of the Void has some really, really great modifiers. The first modifier you can see is the Cold Rays, right? Everyone likes cold. No, I'm just kidding. It says all damage with your hits can chill. So this is really important because this isn't just your ice shot, for example. This will be for anything you do. Let's say I get my ensnaring arrow with Mirage Archer set up. My ensnaring arrow will then be able to chill, which will then be able to increase my damage dealt to it with hypothermia via this, which is pretty good all in all. Then we have all damage taken from hits can chill you. So we're not planning to take hits, but because we are going to take hits eventually, we would really, really like to have a benefit to this, so we chose the Winter Weave. So when we are chilled, depending on how high the hit is, the Winter Weave will trigger, and we will then get 30%, up to 30% increase of action speed instead of a decrease, along with get our jewel set, which I believe I showed you in the last video. Our jewel setup is not Conqueror's Efficiency, where are you? Is this it? The Replica Hot-Headed, and the Replica Hot-Headed gives us increased attack cast and movement speed while chilled, so we just become very fast while we get chilled. So this is really good and fine and dandy, but I mean, why take a hit to become chilled? I get it. It's just more of a oh shit button slash a, you know, hey, I want to attack. I'm fighting a boss that I don't want to move. Go ahead, hit me a few times. I'm gonna sit there and pummel you with a bunch of eye shot bullets. So, yeah, that's the way we have it going. Then we have this amulet, and this amulet we currently have it dominated with Eater of Worlds. And the reason we want it to be dominated with Eater of Worlds is because we want to make it so our crit strikes inflict Malignant Madness. Now what that does is says Malignant Madness reduces damage and action speed by 10% for 8 seconds. So we are going to be trying to force a crit build as best as possible once we get to the rest of the clusters and stuff like that going. But, you know, I might just do Lionifall because it also gives me insane attack speed. Either way, this is basically what we're doing right now. So this right here you can tell is 10% reduced damage and action speed for them, so they just don't do, you know, they do 10% less damage. Why not? On top of that, the rest of the lines read enemies chilled can shatter as though frozen, and enemies chilled by your hits lessen their damage dealt by half a chill effect. Well, because we have Ice Shot is basically always guaranteed to be max chill effect because of its wording. If you look at Ice Shot, it says chill enemies as though dealing 190% more damage. Basically, doesn't matter how much damage almost always we are going to chill at a max, you know, 30%, including bosses. Only time it matters is if they have very, very high cold res. And even then, sometimes they're still chilled for that. So, that being said, that's 15% less damage taken from those enemies, plus the 10% for a 25%. Well, we took this a step further, and we are actually using cast when damage taken on Mortal Call, which I need to level up now that I think about it. Oh, I can't, I don't have the strength. And this says 25% less elemental, 26% less physical, so that's a 50% less damage taken overall. And then of course this is when we take the damage, so, you know, why not? Currently I think 661 is good because my health pool isn't very healthy. Then we have the Doriani's Invitation heavy belt, and we chose this because this belt gives us fire and lightning res, which is really huge for our build because we cover cold res pretty much with those two items. And then it gives us a pretty decent amount of cold damage, and then a flat 30% chance to freeze during any flask effect, which almost always we're going to have a flask up. Now, this is really insane. It also gives us armor, which is going to be even better for when we decide to go with the Arborix, so that's another cool plus. We are using the Windshriek boots, just so we can have the apply additional curse. Currently, we are not applying 2 curses, but the elemental res is a good benefit, along with the LE damage that it gives. On top of it, the Pain Seekers are not going to be a permanent. I do like it, but instead of these, I'm going to be making some brand new crafted gloves, which I'll get into making once I get to that point. I need to, you know, experiment a little bit and figure out, and I can kind of get it down packed. After I get it down packed, I will share with you exactly how I did it. Our quiver is just a Triwiz quiver with flat lighting and crafted elemental damage with attacks. It is a broadhead for attack speed, because attack speed. And then, so all in all, we are sitting at 50% damage reduction overall, but it goes a little bit further than that, because if we look at our ascendancy over here, any enemy that is next to my marked enemy, which is right here, deals 25% less damage to me. Any enemy. So if I mark a boss, all the enemies next to it just do 25% less damage, along with if they're hit, they do another 25% less damage, and if they hit me, they do another 25% less damage. So all in all, we have a 75% less damage taken. We will be doing our last ascendancy in time, but as of now, we are fairly tanky, and we're not worrying about, you know, dying in T1 maps. We do die when we do stupid stuff, but I mean, come on, you run into a pack of mobs, what do you expect? Sometimes they just boop you. And the rest of our ascendancy, as you see, we actually took endless munitions and ricochet because chain and 2 arrows. This allowed us to link inspiration, right here, cold damage, cold pin, ice shot, hypothermia, so on and so forth. Now I could drop cold pin eventually when I have the pin and put in chain, which would probably be my guess, or drop hypothermia, but I mean, I'm chilling so much I might as well keep that. And all in all, we have a pretty good setup. So let's go ahead and show you what it looks like in a map, but let's just load our hideout before I do that. Then I'm going to show you my sentinels and everything like that. Currently we are using Stalker plus the Pandemonium. So we are doing this for a couple reasons. This gives us 3 activations. We actually got lucky and hit a Primeval today, so I'm going to try and, make another one eventually, but we have 8 uses left, or 10 uses left of this one. Nodes we are taking is chain additional time, additional beam, 10% chance to duplicate enemies. This is what I was talking about. Whenever you're in essences and they duplicate, you have a 10% chance to duplicate those essences as well when they are empowered. So you can get, if you get a duplicated essence and you duplicate both of them, you can get 4 essences. And that's insane for just value. I know essences aren't amazing in price, but I mean, even in bulk, you can still probably get a pretty good chunk. For the Pandemonium, we have additional beam chains 2 times, 20% chaining range, increased total number of enemies empowered, and spawns pack on deployment, along with they can be deployed additional time. Now, there is something to be said about this node. I have tested this, it is really nice, but honestly I don't want to sit there and find all the magic and rare monsters in a map. Maybe in later higher tier maps when they're all bundled together and you can find them, sure. Right now, no. Also, I am not taking these nodes, which are really strong. The found cores are duplicated, and over here, which is Sentinels have 20% increased empowerment. This is global, so it'll apply to both the Sentinels. I'm just not taking it because I actually favor getting something like this, which is the Sentinel rewards themselves more. This way I can, 1, sustain the Sentinels I do use, and 2, I can get power cores and stuff like that to do crafting or to make better Sentinels. Now, we just choose pretty much anything as far as these goes. Obviously, if you have currency, put the currency ones on, but that's what I choose. A friend of mine has so many of them, he actually just chooses the best ones that he has. But yeah, that's basically what he does. Let's go ahead and grab one of our T1 maps. As I said, we're going to be in T1 maps probably for the foreseeable future. Next couple of days at the very least, and I'll bring you build updates as I, get more stuff to it. So Burning Ground is fine, and let's go right into it. Now, if we look at our reses, we are at a 75, 76, 75, as you can expect with this kind of setup. I actually, now that I look at it, I can eat a regret, it looks like. Eat 1 regret, and I have an extra node over here with res, just because I needed it. And just like that, we have that. Now, another thing I can do is I can unspec this and get the avoid bleeding, avoid poison, avoid impaled. This will make it so we're less likely to bleed. It's only 30%, but 30% adds up. And the reason why we're not specking our 3 nodes currently is because I do still plan to get a Lion Eye Fall, because the Lion Eye Fall is going to give me all of this in crit and all of this in attack speed, or vice versa. I think this is attack speed, yeah. And that's a lot of extra damage, and it's essentially the cost of a couple chaos and some points. It's a very, very powerful jewel, and it will definitely help me push towards what I'm trying to do. So let's go ahead and show you a little bit on what we do with this, just so you can kind of see what's going on. Now, I'm not saying you're going to get an Exalt every map doing this in T1 farming, but I will say that eventually you're going to get some cool drops. For example, I've already found a scout or 2, I believe, while doing Spider Forest, and Spider Forest is a T1. You can also get things, immediate divine herb, okay. You can also get things such as the Doctor here. Now, the Doctor is a 7-8x card on console. I don't know how much the Headhunter or the Doctor is on PC. I'm sure it's a lot less, seeing as they nerfed it, and, they nerfed it, right? On console, people are always going to want the Headhunter regardless of its state, just because it's the easiest way to do what you want to do as far as mapping, so why not? I myself think I'm going to go for a replica Headhunter. That's just me, though. To each their own. You all can do whatever you want. Now, I will be making some kind of progress soon, though, just so I can get some of my map stuff done. I'm actually going to wait for these. I don't want to deal with them right now. As you see there, they were duplicated by my Sentinel, just by being enchanted or buffed. So let's go ahead and do more of my Sentinel, because I don't have a lot of time with it left. Please, give me some packs, please. Come on. Thank you. At 32... I'm at 27.
I'm not up to that just yet.
There we go, 10, 6, and done. Now we just go ahead and work our way backwards if we want, but that's one use of our Sentinels, and we already got a Divine Orb, so that's pretty cool. Let's just go ahead and make sure we round up a bunch of enemies and drop our next Sentinel, and it just chains to everything. And just like that, we have everything dead. Power core, perfect. Fractured amethyst ring, perfect. A burial medallion, okay. Toxic, ooh, that hurts. Alright, perfect. And just like that, we have a, you know, fair amount of drops. Let's see what this is. Fractured cold res, I'll keep it. I'm still early league, I might as well have a little bit of extra stuff just in case. So next we have one more use of our Pandemonium, so we're going to find another pretty decent sized pack like we did, or a strongbox or something, do it there. If you don't, what you can do is you can just go to the boss room and enchant your boss along with whatever enemies the boss is surrounded by. Usually they're surrounded by a decent amount of enemies. This isn't always the case though, so just a heads up there. It looks like we don't have too much else. So let's see, I want to do the essences last just because oh, well, they're right here. Give me a second, guys. I don't want to get murdered by you just yet. Essences with 4 essences still obviously hurt. You know, I do have a lot of damage reduction, but that doesn't mean they don't hurt. Kill these guys. Let's see if there's anything over here. There is. Perfect. There's 1 pack, 2 packs. Anything else? 3 packs, 4 packs. That's perfect. Okay, so boom. And just like that. So many things that can be enchanted. Get
mana is gone.
Or buffed, get buffed, and then we just turn around and open fire, collect loot. Obsidian Stalker. We already have a lot of obsidians. Energized Armor Jewel. I don't think it's worth anything though. Alright, let's see what we can do about these guys. I'm pretty sure they're just going to murder me, and then I'm just going to be like, alright, whatever. I don't need those essences anyway, because me and my friend there farmed a whole ton of them. Oh, 7 stacks of corrupted blood. 8 stacks of corrupted blood. Yep, alright, well, they're not worth it. Anyway. So that's basically what you're going to look at whenever you're doing these. And I didn't get any maps to sustain this time, but it's fine. You know, I still got a Divine Orb. I still got a couple of neat things here and there. Just going to put that in my tab so I don't have to vendor it just yet. I need to put my vendor closer. Put that there. And that's what you're looking at. So just so you can see it's not a one-time thing, I'm going to quickly do... Let's see. Let's go with... Do I have another map I want to do? Oh, I guess I'll just do Tower. Just to show you guys a little bit more. Now, remember that we don't necessarily plan to get hit with this build as far as the damaging shield. We just wanted to reverse the chill when it happens, and the ring itself is also both defensive, offensive, and helps to clear a lot. When you can shatter enemies as though they're frozen, and that procs with your Herald device, you get pretty decent Herald device pops, especially on white mobs. So that's just something to think about if you decide to do this. Let's kill this. Buff all we can. After they're all buffed, turn around and kill them all. Yeah, a bunch of goats jumping on you, that hurts. Alright, cool. Yeah, when the enemies are chilled, they're just useless against you. It's kind of funny. As you see, we got hit, so we got chilled, and since we're chilled, we get to move really fast for 2 seconds. And attack and, you know, do whatever we need to really fast, so that's really good. Die, please. Thank you. 19 usages. I still have 2 whole floors or 3 whole floors. That's pretty good. 1 use. Let's go ahead and kill these guys real quick. Alright, all done. So now what we can do is we can actually see if we can't bundle up a bunch of enemies like we did before. Just like that. Drop our secondary one. And then kill everything and loot. And we just gotta find another big bundle.
I'm not up to that
This
just
is
yet.
pretty big. I think we're gonna do this one right here. Everything gets buffed up, kill everything. This time we got a weapon combiner. I believe that's about 15 chaos right now on console. I don't know about PC, but they're pretty pricey. Another contract, and just like that. Oh, and we got a bronze. And a sentinel. It's a bronze though, so we don't even pick those up. And bam, we have a whole bunch of loot just off of, you know, T1 maps. Now, you know, let's say I'll go with the argument of why not do higher tier maps, so on and so forth. Well, I could push for the higher tier maps, but I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one who has sit there and done 20 or 30 high tier maps and dropped almost nothing. And just been like, well, you know, I'm sitting here for like 5 minutes on an enemy that I can barely kill, and you know, obviously you're just still building up your build, so on and so forth. I'm not playing a build that scales the damage to a point to where I can just immediately jump into T16s and just be good. That this build is a build that is very, you know, currency and build intensive. Like, you have to have every single piece the way you need it to make it work the way you want it to. That's just how it works with iShot. It's an expensive build to begin with. As such, I have decided to, you know, do my good old tried and true low tier map farm until I get enough currency or the build done enough to where I can go and do the higher tier maps. Now, that being said, I can do higher tier maps to a point without them being buffed up, but once they get buffed up by your sentinels, that's when things get a little bit out of hand, and I'm not really looking forward to trying and dealing with that right now, because it's a lot of extra just, you know, I just don't want to die and waste 6 portals on a map. I have had points where I already wasted 3 portals on this one, and it's on a T1, and it gets pretty hectic, you know, you just have so much stuff going. But yeah, that's why I'm doing T1s to probably T3s for a while. As well as, you see the loot I'm getting. I mean, it's nothing to write home about. Obviously, you know, a brawn, one of these little orbs, a couple things like this. I'm not breaking anyone's bank by picking this up, but I am doing it in very quick maps and very easy maps for what I have going, and the fact that I'm not playing more than 1 or 2 hours a day. I'm not doing any super hardcore grinding at this moment. I'm just kind of having fun with it, and, you know, taking my time, giving it a good old like 1-2 as I, you know, come across things. I feel like that's more my playstyle right now anyway, especially being as I have lost what I did lose, and, you know, it's very discouraging. As you see here, we have 4 round tabs, and this is all we have. I am going to be able to purchase 2 tabs pretty soon here once they go on sale, yes, but that's just 2 tabs compared to like the 30 plus that I had. That's just in tabs. I don't have any in TXs or anything like that, and that's not even including the gear. So it is what it is, right? Like, I'm going to be playing this game at a more casual standpoint. I will be grinding and bringing you YouTube content and doing stuff like that, you know, but it's not going to be nearly as hard of a grind. I'm not going to do the 6-hour, I'm going to do 50 maps with 20 scarabs and, you know, do this anymore in standard and just show you what the results are anymore. It's just going to be me having fun, showing you, you know, a little bit about my build, and maybe showing you a little bit about the lead that you didn't know, if possible, or having a good time. That's all this is. Let's go ahead and do our last map here. I know I've done 2 already, but, you know, just wanted to kind of show you a little bit more. Just to give you expectations, I guess, you know. So we're gonna start with our little Sentinel. After we get our dude here going, just zoom past these guys actually and turn around for them. Yeah, get them all buffed up. Now we can start murdering. As you see, we have enemies that have teleportation. That's not fun. Oh, it's a totem with teleportation. Alright, Alex Can't Die is dead. We have some semi-splinters, Cobalt Pandemonium, Cobalt Jewel.
My mana is gone.
Careful. We do take reduced damage, but that doesn't mean they don't hurt, you know? Like, we're evasion build, we don't have a whole lot of health pool, so yeah, you gotta be careful. Her mask is also pretty useful. When we're doing the 2-man maps, we're just kind of juicing it up. I do need to figure out immune to frozen eventually, but we'll get that. We're immune to chill pretty much, so one thing at a time. Okay, kill both these little assassin roas. And what jewel is this? Nothing. Fair enough. I guess I can Valor a bit, see if I get corrupted blood or something. We get a whole bunch of enemies piled up like we usually do. Just get them all kited this way. Come on. As many as we can. Many as we can. And just like that, you can start turning around. And I want that because it might be a good fracture. It is a T1 map, so I mean, I'm not expecting anything big, but if it ends up being cool, then cool. A Delirious Tower map, that's cool. Can definitely use that. What do you... Okay. So now we killed all those guys, so let's go ahead and see if we can't puddle up a bunch of guys all in one. And just kill everything. Ow. Die. Die, please. Die, please. Thank you. Just like that, everything's dead. Again, T1 maps, you know, don't expect too much. That's interesting. T5 though. Let's go ahead and put the Calgarian one on, and then I don't care about this one. And then normally what you can do is if you don't want to finish the rest of the map, because, you know, normal drops are garbage, you could... Oh, I'm gonna die. I died. Freezes you and activates. The only blue mod. What are the odds? But, either way, that's where we're at. If you don't want to do the rest of the map after killing your empowered enemies, just leave. Like, there's nothing keeping you there. You don't really have to finish them because they don't really drop a lot of loot. Might as well leave. And then I want to Valor this, see if I get like corrupted blood or something. Bam. That's not horrible. Boom. I got an achievement, hooray. But that is basically where we're at. I hope you guys enjoyed the build so far. It's bare basics, bare bones currently. I will be working on it as time goes and making it more, you know, me, more comfortable, more just how I like to play. Eventually I'll have the damage to just blow everything up like usual, and that'll be pretty fun. I'll be able to go to high tier maps and do that. Until that point, we're just going to keep chugging along in T1, T2, T3 maps, and maybe I will do a stream with me and my friend sometime tomorrow or the next day. We'll see. I'll post it in advance. I'll post a video in advance saying, hey, I'm streaming in a little bit here, join me. And if you're wanting to join and watch, you know, a little bit about what we're doing and how much loot we're getting, then you're more than welcome to join my stream. As always, take it easy, everybody. Have a good one, and you know the deal. Check out the Patreon.